Hello everybody. Today we're working on the GMC, the 2005. It's due for inspection this month, and I figured while I'm here I'll change the transmission fluid. It's been a while since I've done it, probably 80,000 miles or so. This has the 4L60E in it. It's a pretty common transmission. It's pretty robust. This one actually has a shallow pan, which you got to watch out for if you're ordering a new filter kit for it. If you go on like Rock Auto and stuff, a lot of times they tell you this car has a deep pan when it doesn't. So let's pop underneath. I'll show you what a shallow pan looks like, and that way you can identify quite easily if you have a deep or a shallow pan. So this is a shallow pan. You can see there's no steps in it. If there's a step or a difference in height here, then that's the deep pan. So, like I said, you got to be careful when you order these. A lot of times they tell you the GMC Canyons have a deep pan when in fact they don't. I'm under the impression you can actually switch between a shallow pan and a deep pan. You just got to make sure you get the right filter that goes in them. Now I've already taken out these bolts here, or these screws here. These are kind of hard to get to. So a nice ratcheting box wrench works really good in there. The other ones I'm going to drive out, and then we'll drain the fluid out here. Okay, so on the four-wheel drive version, the shaft's in the way here. Try to get the pan off. So all you got to do is you can leave all of this stuff on here. There's two bolts that hold the shift bracket on. So all you gotta do is come in. I just loosen the back one up just a little bit, and it's enough to move it. Just enough out of the way. You don't even have to take it off, really. Like I said, I just loosened the one screw there. Maybe you gotta loosen this second one here. Maybe, and it's just enough to get the pan out and drop down. So then we'll pull the filter off. There's an O-ring inside here. It's not really an O-ring, it's more of a seal. So we'll take and pull that down, pull that out. I did look at the oil. It doesn't look too bad. No metal flakes in it or anything like that. So yeah, it's always good to do regular maintenance on these things. Alright, so ran into a slight problem here. This is the one that came out of the truck. Now, I put this one in, so it's not the OEM. This is the one I ordered for a shallow pan Colorado. Okay, so if you look at the heights, they're about the same. This one's maybe actually a little bit thicker than this one, believe it or not. And this one fits on the transmission fine until you go to put the pan on. And then it hits this edge right here is only like 1/8 of an inch away from the drive shaft. So maybe if you had just a rear wheel drive and the pan didn't have a radius cut into it for the drive shaft, maybe this one would work. But this one, you can see the spacing here from this edge to this edge, and then from this edge to this edge here. So this one's a lot narrower. I did some digging on this guy. They don't make this one anymore, but I was able to find the GM, and I think Wix makes one. So I ordered the Wix one from Rock Auto. I had to rush order it here now that I've got the truck that's sitting here with no transmission pan on it. So we'll see if that one fits. I can't find one. There is a GM version supposedly, but I can't find it. I'll put the part numbers that I would use down in the description, but hopefully I can figure this out. Yeah, don't know, but this one doesn't work. Okay, so I did get the Wix in. This is a Wix 58323. It's actually very, very similar to the one that was in there. This guy here, that guy is actually an XPX filter. Here's the part number. Like I said, I don't think they make this one anymore. This is the AC Delco part number, which does not fit. Maybe this fits if you don't have four-wheel drive. So this one is a direct bolt in or direct fit. It looks almost identical between the two here. So I think what I'll do for future reference is I'll actually take and record this number so that I don't have this problem again. But yeah, if you have the four-wheel drive version, this is actually listed as a shallow pan filter also, even though it is slightly thicker than this one. This one should still work for us. So let's go ahead and put this in. So what you do here is you have to take, and obviously you put your filter in. I did not replace the seal that's in the transmission. Mine was a real tight fit. I guess if you got to take that out, I'm not sure how you pry that out. But you don't want to scratch the housing on the transmission at all. But mine was a real snug fit, so I just left it in. Reused what was in there. Then what you do is you take the gasket and you lay it down on your pan, and you carefully screw each one of the bolts in, just into the gasket. The holes in the gasket are small enough that all the bolts stay in place, and then you very carefully thread it around the drive shaft. You kind of have to like pitch the pan down and then tip it in to get it around. They'll actually go with all the bolts there, so that's not a big deal. And then take and push the pan up, make sure it sits absolutely flat on the transmission. If it's not sitting flat for any reason, you got to stop. That was my first indicator with the wrong filter, that it wasn't seating flush and flat, so I had to take it back off again, and obviously it was the wrong filter. So that's kind of how you do this. And then what you do is you tighten all these down by hand, and then we'll come back and torque them to the right torque spec. Okay, so once you get them all tightened by hand, you can snug them up just a little bit. But what you'll do is you'll start in the middle of the sides of the pan here, and you'll start tightening them down, and you'll just go around getting them snug as you go. You want to make sure the gasket's nice and seated, and then you'll tighten these to 108 inch-pounds, so that's about 9 foot-pounds. These back here behind the drive shaft, those you're probably going to have to either do by feel, or if you have I don't know if you can get in there with a crow's foot. Maybe you might be able to get them with a crow's foot. I don't have a torque wrench that can get in there, so I'm just going to do those by hand back there. I have enough experience. I can feel how tight they are. You don't want to these aren't structural, so you don't need to tighten them down. You're just trying to, form a seal here, and that's it. And then don't forget you loosened this bracket up here, so you'll have to tighten those down. Make sure those are good. So yeah, other than that, then once we get that all done, then we'll be ready to start putting oil in this thing. Okay, so if you can see this here, it's got a cold level fill here and then a hot level fill. So what we want to do is we'll start off by just adding it cold until we reach this line here, and then we'll start the truck up and let her warm up a bit, and then we want to shift through all the gears several times, make sure the oil's being circulated through all the valves and stuff. Make sure we got enough in there. Then we'll take it for a short drive and make sure we're up in this range here. So let's get started with that. Okay, so we're using a full synthetic Mercron 6, or I'm sorry, Dextron 6 Mercron LV transmission fluid. So this is what's kind of suggested for these, and the shallow pan takes about 4.5 to 5 quarts. So what we don't want to do is we do not want to overfill this. So we'll sneak up on this slowly. I got a pretty small funnel in here, so we don't want to even overflow the funnel. It'll take a bit of time to get down in there. So we'll just work at it slowly, checking the dipstick as we go. Like I said, you don't want to overfill it. Okay, so you can see I put 3 quarts in, and so what we'll do is we'll check it again. It was already on the stick at 3 quarts. So once you turn the engine on, cycle it through the gears, and then we'll take and check it again here. So we're right above the cold fill line. I know it's really hard to see. Alright, so we'll take her for a little spin here, get the oil up to temp. I put exactly 3.5 quarts in. I was looking at how much I took out. It took out exactly 4 1/4. So I think I'm probably a quart low, but the dipstick is saying otherwise. So you got to get oil into everything first. So I'm just making sure we're not, the transmission isn't slipping or anything like that. And we don't want any of that. So we'll just take her for a nice little drive here. Don't push it, and we'll go back and check the oil level then and see where we're at. Okay, so now that we got her warmed up, drove her around for a little bit. We are not in the 2 holes. You can see that there, we don't have oil in the 2 holes. Sorry, it's out of focus. So that means we're low, which is what we expected. So let's keep adding some more here. Okay, so that was exactly 4 1/4 quarts, exactly what I took out. We're right at the top line, or the second hole in the dipstick. So that aligns perfectly with what we took out. You also check down underneath, make sure there was no leaks, which if you tighten it up correctly, you got to be careful you don't get that gasket out of those holes. If you do, then it'll leak all over the place. So you got to get that taken care of, make sure that's done correctly. And then, like I said, we're at the top hole. So anything I'll do now is I'll just let my wife drive it. It's her car, so we'll drive it, and I'll just keep an eye on it. Just a lesson learned I had way back, probably when I was in my 20s. I had a Pontiac Grand Prix that I was young and dumb. I took it to a garage to have the transmission filter changed and oil changed, and they filled it up and didn't bother to take it for a test drive and cycle it through. The thing was 2 quarts low. Shame on me, I didn't check the oil. It smoked the transmission. There was nothing I could do. So just keep an eye on this stuff. Like I said, make sure we're at the second hole when we're driving, when it's hot, and we're good to go. It wasn't that bad of a job, other than the whole filter screw up. So yeah, not that good. So anyway, go ahead and try it yourself. I'll include some links in the bottom for the ratcheting wrenches to try to get those bolts along the side. And if I can find the Wix filter, I'm not sure. I got it from a Rock Auto, but it wasn't listed. If I remember, it wasn't listed for the GMC Canyon. I had to search for it separate. So I'll include those part numbers in the description below. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a nice day.